Interesting. Nikki, I'd like to ask you, because you did such a superb job, right? You were able to embody sensuality, but in a way that was not garish. It was just like, oh, girl, when do I sign up, right? How did you find that balance with being a woman of sensuality and beauty without being over the top and campy and stereotypical that we may see in a few other, just projects or as women are portrayed?
Absolutely. Actually, initially, I was very hesitant about accepting that role because I wasn't quite sure how to communicate that balance. At the time, I'm much more evolved as a woman now than I was then. It's been a couple of years. But oddly enough, what I love the most about acting is through the art of storytelling, you get to unpack a lot within your own spirit. And in that, you get to tap into the human spirit of the viewer. So with that being said, I was able to navigate my own nuances as a woman and also surface some things that I had me be suppressing. I'm from Mississippi, Bible Belt. So, Mississippi, what? I've never met anybody from Mississippi outside Mississippi. Hey! But I say that to say, through the lens of family, through the lens of religion, through the lens of society, women are typically told who we ought to be, how we ought to dream, how we ought to exist, how we ought to speak. And playing couture offered me to navigate myself in a very non-judgmental way, because we are our own worst critic, right? And a lot of time we prevent our own growth because of what we are so afraid of. And we take on the outside judgment as our own, and we wear that, and it kills our spirit, our spirit of growth. And so I say that to say, couture allowed me to explore, allowed me to evolve, it allowed me to give myself permission to grow as a woman. And so I decided just to play her authentically. I didn't want to play her sexy. I just wanted to play her as a woman who had come into her own and just existed in her own right and not within the confines of who she was told to be. And that just gave her all these different colors of humor, of intelligence, because she does have her own business. She does work in IT, like legit. And through that avenue, she is expressing herself and in her way, like freeing other women as well. And I thought that was a very beautiful and powerful thing, so, yeah.
You embodied it beautifully.
Thank you.
Layla, let's jump in and talk. So, talking about coming together, Nikki, you said you initially saw the character and you weren't quite sure. No. Tell us a bit about how you found out about the project and why you said yes. But right before you do, for context, because we have not just film lovers, but filmmakers in the room. And I think it's really important to give folks things you can walk away with. So how do you get a Nikki to say yes to your project? Talk to us a bit about what it took for you and how you found out about it. Was it through community as well?
This project was very special. I mean, typically everybody's familiar with the process. You get a team together, you do a casting process via either audition submission, or you handpick people to invite by appointment, or you do a cattle call where it's just, hey, 10 to 6, everybody show up. But this, from the beginning, from the inception to the end product, which you guys see, it's heart behind it. We were all hand selected. And none of us knew quite what we were getting into, but all of us, Courtney, myself, and Layla, we were at a very pivotal point in our own personal lives, and I believe that this project was in perfect synchronicity with that, to really allow us access to either our voice, either a next phase as a mother, either as a next phase as just a more powerful and potent person in this world and how you move through life. But this whole project, to me, from my perspective, was a process of divine intervention, a match with divine inspiration, and a true testimony as to how your passion makes a way for you, what Courtney was saying. And so this particular project, and it's not as common, but it does happen. We were handpicked from what was it? It was you, Nikki, and Kalisha, and through their creative energy, they're like, oh, this character sounds like this. Bring her in, bring her in. And Nikki Wade said, I think Nikki Wade was the one that was like, she should play couture or something like that, right? I didn't think I could be sexy. And so I was like, this is weird. And so, but you can't judge your character. And in order for me to access her, I had to access myself. In order for me to allow this character to discuss freedom, I had to free myself. And so I just released it to the ethers, and we just played around and we had fun. And when you have like a great like cast, that makes all the difference, because you're sharing this creative energy and then you trust each other. My God, and then it really starts. All the energy that the audience feels from the picture, it starts with an energy that's on set. And a lot of people don't realize that. You have a lot of people choosing cast these days from social media strictly. And I'm not opposed to the commercial aspect of film, but we can't forget the heart. We can't forget the heart. The heart is always gonna bring us the money. The heart is always gonna bring us the audience, because this business is something that evokes emotion, that taps into the human spirit, and we can't ever forget that. That's why this project has gone as far as it has gone and continues to go even 2 years later, beyond even what I could have even imagined, probably beyond what Bobby could even imagine. No budget, a feature, no budget. You see what I'm saying? But it's the power of the collaborative spirit. So I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely, yes. What advice would you have to people who are filmmakers or actors in the audience right now who say, I don't know if I can confront that project because it's too hard for me personally? What would you say to them?
Go for it anyway, because it's gonna open doors for other people. You know what I mean?
Wow.
One thing that she's being very humble about, let me tell you something about Layla. She is not good at speaking about herself, but she is one of the most solid, most fearless, despite what she gives herself credit for. She is absolutely fearless. A lot of us, will not navigate ourselves. A lot of us are too busy searching for ourselves outside of ourselves. A lot of us are too busy hiding from ourselves by filling our lives or our voids with things that have nothing to do with us. Material things, money, yada, yada, yada. All these things that are supposed to be in addition to who we are. What she has helped me learn as a human and as a woman is to not be afraid to face myself, right? And we all need people around us like that, not people around us that, beat us over the head with Bibles or with quotes or memes, but who do it by their very existence and who do it by the way they love themselves and love others organically, right? Not for show. And so I just wanted to share that part that I know with you guys, because she's a true introvert. But she exposed herself through her character, and that's what a lot of us artists do. A lot of us artists are broken people, and a lot of us artists are broken people searching for salvation through our art. And we end up finding healing through our art, and we end up healing a lot of you through that. And so that's the beautiful relationship that we have, artist to audience, creator to audience. And so actually, thank you guys for being here and sharing this experience with us. And I just want to personally acknowledge Layla, just publicly. She deserves that applause just for being who she is and really navigating that character. Because she did push through her own ceiling on set. We watched her do that. We were like sisters up there, like, Layla, if you don't learn this choreography, we were true sisters up there, and that's why we still have like this synergy that you guys feel, more than see, you feel it from us right now. And so everything that you see, the heart and love that we have for each other, the way we hug each other, the way we celebrate and talk about each other, that's very, very real. And that was birthed from this whole movie making process, which is a beautiful thing.
She's a really tough act to follow. She just is. And it doesn't matter what role, like I will always acknowledge the dynamic, iconic woman that this is.